Somewhere beyond the edge of our solar system, farther than any human hand has ever reached, Voyager 2 is silently gliding through the interstellar void. But what it just sent back isn't just another measurement or signal echoing into deep space. It's an image, a final image. And what that image revealed is so unexpected, so perfectly structured, so completely out of place in the infinite randomness of the cosmos that it sent shockwaves through the deepest corners of the scientific community. The anomaly appears geometric, almost intelligent, disturbingly deliberate. It was captured not by accident, but by a probe powered by plutonium and guided by commands typed decades ago. But how is it possible that this ancient machine, older than the modern internet itself, has now become the messenger of something that may not be natural at all? Was Voyager 2 followed? Did it cross into a region where physics itself behaves differently? Or has it stumbled upon something that was never meant to be seen? This isn't a coincidence. This is a warning, a message signed in mathematics, woven in light, encoded in the final frames of Voyager 2's journey. And if you think the universe is empty, think again. When Voyager 2 launched in 1977, it carried with it humanity's most optimistic gesture, a golden disk filled with greetings, music, and the sounds of Earth. It was a time capsule aimed at whoever or whatever might someday find it. That was the message, or so we thought. But nearly 50 years later, what Voyager 2 has returned with suggests something far more chilling, a reply. The image retrieved from Voyager's final burst of data wasn't supposed to be possible, not with its failing cameras and certainly not at that unimaginable distance. And yet, when scientists analyzed the data using a powerful quantum AI system designed to scan for patterns invisible to the human eye, something extraordinary appeared. Hidden inside the signal was a structure. Not a star, not a planet, not dust or plasma, but a lattice, precise, symmetrical, and repeating across multiple frames. It was the kind of order that defies randomness and whispers of design. But what made the discovery even more disturbing was that the structure seemed to remain fixed relative to the spacecraft, as if it were orbiting Voyager or tracking it. Scientists at NASA quickly ruled out hardware failure. The anomaly wasn't detected by just one instrument. It appeared across multiple sensors, different wavelengths, and separate moments in time. When researchers mapped the structure, they found repeating Fibonacci ratios and prime number spacing, patterns so deeply mathematical that one physicist described the discovery as the universe winking at us with code. But structures like this aren't supposed to exist in deep space, especially not ones that seem to change. When Voyager sensors actively scanned the anomaly, the structure shifted slightly, as if responding to the observation itself. The behavior resembled the observer effect in quantum mechanics, but this wasn't happening at the atomic scale. This was something kilometers wide. How could a structure react to being observed unless it was aware? And if it was aware, it might not be natural. It might be artificial. Or worse, it might be alive. To understand what Voyager 2 may have encountered, scientists had to confront an unsettling possibility. The edge of our solar system might not just be a boundary of particles and plasma. It could be a transition zone, a region where the fabric of space itself begins to behave differently. According to some quantum gravity theories, the area beyond the heliopause may allow phenomena that our current models cannot fully explain. Think of it as a cosmic twilight zone, where the rules written in Einstein's language start to blur and merge with the strange dialect of quantum physics. The structure in Voyager's image fits no known model of interstellar matter. It reflects no light, yet it absorbs specific frequencies. It casts no shadow, yet it disrupts surrounding magnetic fields. Some researchers even suggested something more unsettling, that the object might not belong entirely to our dimension. Instead, it could be the projection of a higher dimensional structure intersecting with our space. In simpler terms, it might be the shadow of something existing in another universe. And somehow, it appeared to be following a machine built in the 1970s with technology less advanced than a modern calculator. But the shape alone wasn't the most shocking discovery. When the quantum AI continued analyzing Voyager's data, it uncovered hidden transmission patterns buried deep within the anomaly. These weren't random fluctuations. They formed sequences, prime numbers, Fibonacci spirals, and geometric symmetries. Even more disturbing, those sequences mirrored the exact mathematical language used on the Voyager Golden Record, the universal mathematical Rosetta Stone humanity sent into space to communicate with alien intelligence. But here's the terrifying twist: the patterns weren't just similar. They were mirroring our message. It was as if something out there had not only received Voyager's signal but understood it and responded using the same mathematical language, a language encoded in a structure that could only be detected using the advanced AI technology humans had developed only recently. Not decades ago. Not even 5 years ago. Now. Almost as if whatever was out there had been waiting for humanity to become intelligent enough to finally hear the reply. While the public received vague statements about unusual data artifacts, something very different was unfolding behind closed doors at NASA. Leaked internal emails suggested that top scientists were instructed not to discuss the image or the mirrored patterns with the press. Communication protocols changed rapidly. Voyager's data streams were redirected into private quantum computing laboratories and encrypted at the highest levels. Why? Because the implications were too destabilizing, not only for physics, but for geopolitics, religion, and our entire understanding of humanity's place in the universe. One anonymous systems engineer described the atmosphere inside NASA as similar to a Cold War alert. But the fear wasn't about destruction. It was about contact. Because if Voyager's image truly was a response, then humanity's experiment was over. We sent a signal into the void, and something finally answered. And now, it might be too late to take it back. As whispers of the discovery spread through unofficial channels, the scientific community began to divide. Some researchers insisted the anomaly could still be explained by unknown interstellar dust formations or unusual gravitational lensing effects. But others, particularly those working in theoretical physics and quantum field modeling, weren't convinced. Several research papers briefly appeared online before mysteriously disappearing hours later. Those papers claimed the data matched predicted behaviors of artificially generated quantum fields shaped not by nature, but by deliberate design. In simple terms, Voyager may have entered a region of space where information itself could be manipulated, encoded, and displayed visually. One physicist compared the image to a glyph, something between a symbol and a command. And then someone asked the unthinkable question. What if this Voyager's magnetometers, instruments designed to measure magnetic fields, soon began returning even stranger readings? Despite operating far beyond their expected lifespan, they detected pulses in the surrounding magnetic field. These pulses weren't random. They appeared at precise, regular intervals. Like a beacon. Like a heartbeat. Even more chilling, the timing between each pulse followed a Fibonacci progression, the same sequence already discovered within the anomaly structure. For decades, scientists have searched for alien intelligence through radio signals and atmospheric signatures on distant planets. But what Voyager may have found is something far more advanced, a presence that doesn't transmit messages through radio waves, but through patterns embedded directly into the environment of space itself. A civilization that leaves behind not machines, not signals, but mathematics. Patterns only intelligent observers could recognize. And now, we have recognized them. As the analysis continued, an even more unsettling idea began circulating among physicists, signal analysts, and AI researchers during private discussions. What if Voyager's image wasn't showing an object at all? What if it was a reflection? Not a metaphorical reflection, a literal one. A dynamic distortion in spacetime itself, like a mirror slowly turning toward us the moment we look too closely. Some scientists began to wonder if Voyager hadn't discovered something new, but had instead triggered something ancient, a dormant mechanism, a hidden field, perhaps even a sentient surveillance system that had been waiting silently for millions of years. Invisible. Inactive. Until the moment one of humanity's machines crossed the correct boundary. Not to attack us. Not to welcome us. But simply to observe us. And now, with Voyager drifting deeper into the darkness, leaving behind an image that should not exist, humanity may have crossed a threshold we were never meant to reach, a place where the observers suddenly become the observed. For nearly half a century, Voyager 2 traveled through the void carrying the hopes of a species still too young to fully understand the question it was asking. We placed our music, our languages, and our mathematics onto a golden record and launched it toward the stars, believing that perhaps one day someone might discover it. But deep down, we never truly believed anyone would answer. Until now. The final image Voyager captured may not just be a picture. It may be a rupture, a quiet tear in our understanding of the universe. A geometric echo of our own logic reflected back at us in forms too precise, too deliberate to be coincidence. It's not a star, not a planet, not a comet, dust cloud, or field of gas. It's something else. Something that waits. Something that mirrors. And perhaps worst of all, something that understands us. For centuries, humanity believed we were sending our message into an empty universe. But Voyager's final discovery may have confirmed the oldest fear buried deep within myths, religions, and the human imagination. We were never alone. Not in this galaxy. Not in this dimension. Not even in our silence. And now, with a single image captured by a dying machine drifting through the darkness, that silence has finally been broken. The sky is no longer quiet. Because something out there just blinked. If this revelation shook you, if it made you question everything we thought we knew about space, time, and solitude, then don't walk away in silence. Subscribe to this channel. We follow the transmissions others are afraid to acknowledge. Turn on notifications, because Voyager's final message may not be its last. Share this video with someone who still believes space is empty. And tell us in the comments.